the main thing I want to get across is that there was this bit about no cooperation is just, it's just fantasy. They've cooperated from day one. They have, and I'm talking about Debbie and Jeremy, they've been interviewed / interrogated in excess of 30 hours on 5 different occasions. It's been reported, and I saw it again last night, that the delay in interviewing the boys was due to Debbie and Jeremy, and that is just patently untrue. When I got involved in the case with Joe, it was November 1st. We immediately met, went over the case, met the clients, and then we went to the FBI building and spent about 3 hours. They laid out their case, what they had, the evidence, what the investigation was going. We talked about what we would do and not do, and we agreed right then on November 1st that the boys would be, that Debbie and Jeremy would allow the boys to be re-interviewed. We set some ground rules. The ground rules were that the entire thing should be videotaped. Typically, when you have a forensic person come in and do an interview of children, just like when you have an interrogation of a suspect, the pre-interview portion is not videoed. And with the child, and mainly, you deal with children with child sex cases, the pre-interview part is just rapport building. And they get them in a room, and it's got little furniture in it and some toys and games, and they color and whatnot, and they build a rapport. We felt it was important to document that, and the FBI agreed with it. It was the FBI that asked us to wait for the interview. They have forensic examiners, just a small number, and they're all in DC. So the reason it didn't take place until last night was due to the fact that that was when she was available. And she flew in yesterday morning. I met with her yesterday afternoon. I interviewed her very briefly about her experience level. She's been with the FBI for about 10 years, has done over 1,000 forensic interviews. Usually, my experience has been most of those people are very good at their jobs. They're going to ask neutral questions or non-leading questions because that we get the video of, and it would be foolish of them to do otherwise. And then other than that, Joe and I were both very concerned about the boys. They're cute little boys. They're almost 6 and 8. And we, in fact, I first met them this week. I've been with them now for probably 3 or 4 hours total. And the first thing they said to me when I sat down at their kitchen table and talked to them was, the older one said, "Are you going to help us find Lisa?" So, if you guys have kids, you know how older siblings like infants. And so it's a traumatic experience for them. And that was, the main concern that Joe and I both had. I think it went well. They were in there for a couple of hours. I think the younger one probably was shorter than the older one. They came out. They seemed to be in good spirits. I had promised them we were going to go get burgers and some chicken McNuggets, and we did that. They were in good spirits again. We had discussed with Jeremy and Debbie the fact that I thought it was important not to ask them any questions last night about the experience, about anything that happened. And we didn't. We just, chatted with them, messed around with their toys. And, due to the media, if I had anything to say to you guys, and I know you're doing a job just like everyone has a job to do, but it's really stressful for them to try to go about their daily lives with those cameras. Last night I went over there and you've got that big light lit up under the umbrella like it's daylight over there. And so I didn't want the children to be videoed, and so we made an exchange with the family member, and they stayed at a different place last night. So that's what happened yesterday. The message I want to get out is that the level of cooperation from Debbie and from Jeremy has been there from day one before I was involved in the case, and that this business about the children not being allowed to be interviewed is untrue also. Joe wanted it to happen. We said that it would happen as early as November 1st. The reason it didn't happen until last night was due to the FBI and scheduling conflicts and nothing on our side.
How about interviews with parents?
At this point, there's nothing more to be said. 30 plus hours of interviews, interrogations. I'm not going to get into the specifics of what went on and how it broke down. I will later. But if there's things that they still need to know or questions that they want to ask, they can contact Joe or myself. I'm available 24 hours a day, so is Joe. We'll get those questions answered.
But police have since clarified that they're not saying the parents aren't cooperating. They're saying the parents haven't sat down separated to talk with them. Has that happened?
Absolutely happened. Happened the very first day. 8 hours Jeremy stepped
Since
right.
October 8th?
No, not since October 8th, but I'm explaining to you when it happened. 8 hours the very first day by Jeremy, 11 hours the very first day by Debbie, and then it happened again on October 8th. So the other, I alluded to 5 different contacts. There was 9 hours on October 6th, and then the October 8th thing was 3 hours, and then there was a couple of follow-up interviews that were short. But a total of in excess of 30
You
hours.
said October 6th. Did you mean the 4th, the day that she
The 4th was the
disappeared?
one that was 19 total hours, 8 for Jeremy and 9,
then there was another one on the
11
6th.
for Debbie. There was another one on the 6th,
And then another one on the 8th.
another one on the 8th.
So there were 3 interviews where they were separated?
And
Or 2?
the first 2 were without attorneys.
Okay, but in total 3
Yes, sir.
where they were interviewed separately?
Yes, sir.
So you're saying you're open and they can come and call you anytime and say, we need to ask Debbie more
They
questions?
can
and
fax
they're
me,
not?
email Joe or myself, any question they may have, and we'll answer it. But what we're not going to do is let our clients be subjected to interrogation techniques. And it got nasty. You guys know Sean O'Brien. He was involved in the 3rd deal. He's been a hero of mine. I think he's a fantastic lawyer and a great person. And he told me about what went on in that 3rd interview. And he ended the 3rd interview. He'd had enough, and that's enough for us.
Are you alleging that police are lying?
Am I alleging the police are lying? It happens. I've been doing this 20 years. It's constitutionally permissible for them to lie. I wasn't in the interview room, interrogation room. I don't know what I know what they told Debbie and Jeremy as it's been relayed to me. But as you know, you've been doing this a long time. What your clients tell you happened in the interrogation room and what really happened in the interrogation room are often 2 different things. We're not entitled, unfortunately, to get the videotape of that back unless and until a case is filed. And based on my experience and my training and what I've heard from my clients and what I've heard from Sean, I have no doubt that vigorous police interrogation tactics were used.
I mean, are you alleging they're lying to us, the media?
I don't know what they're saying to, so I can't really comment on that.
Do you think police are focusing too much on the parents? As
Absolutely.
Do you think police consider them suspects?
Oh, they've told us as much, sure.
What have they told them?
Just what you just said. And Debbie in particular.
Can you explain?
I'm not at liberty to get into that, but that's the tenor of what's going on here.
What do you think happened to Lisa?
I don't know. I wasn't there. I know I'm not going to speculate about what did happen and what didn't happen. As lawyers, we deal with evidence and with the facts that we know. We have certain facts that we know that everyone can agree on, the FBI, KCPD, us. We have other facts that are sort of in dispute. And at the end of the day, everybody has to make a judgment for themselves.
Isn't it important that you continue and that they continue to work with them as long as Lisa is still missing?
Absolutely. And that's another thing that has come up here. That's a dicey situation because law enforcement doesn't want us involved. They don't want our investigators going out and talking to these witnesses. The exact words from the FBI agent to me was, when I got involved, we don't want them, quote, poisoning the well, unquote. Okay? And this is a sort of a different situation for a criminal defense lawyer to be in, because I know you guys probably saw my quote in the paper when I was asked. Typically, I don't like my clients to speak at all with law enforcement, and I won't allow it. But this is a different situation because our clients now want to help in finding their child. So we're kind of in a crosshairs. We want to make sure we protect them, but we want to make sure that we help them. That's where we are as far as that goes, and we've got to try to fulfill both roles.
But you understand, and I'm sure that in other cases, high-profile kidnapping cases, parents have pretty much done anything that they could, stand on mountaintops to get attention.
Exactly.
And these folks have made themselves unavailable. So
that's not true.
well, wait a minute. It's true as
It's
far
not
as
true.
local media is concerned.
No, it is true.
Well, okay, I don't know that there's any duty on their part to talk to local media.
No, I
don't see that as them being.
All I'm
uncooperative.
saying is, do you understand that does put them in the eye of the public, a little bit of an unusual situation?
No, I don't agree with that. I think it makes you guys mad at them. It doesn't put them in the eye of the public. I don't go along with that.
But
as
you
far,
said-
hang on. As far as you look at the Joan Benet Ramsey case. What did that do? Look at the cooperation they provided. Look how those people's lives ended. We're not here to make you guys happy. you know, we're here to help them find Lisa, if we can help them find Lisa. And as far, we started off talking about their cooperation with the search. I want to go into that. They were not allowed back in their home. They were not allowed to go back in the woods. The police and law enforcement had that stuff on lockdown. They didn't want them down by the river. They didn't want them over there where that Section 8 housing is. So you tell me, if someone takes your child and you can't go in any of the places you would normally go to look at, is she now supposed to drive around, and by the way, that's been done, but shouting from the mountaintops for her child to satisfy the public? No, I mean, that's not the way to behave. We're letting the experienced, trained law enforcement people do their job. We've got our own investigators, they're doing their job, and that's the way it works.
As far as the interview with the boys, are you able to eventually see that video yourself? 'Cause
Not until if there is a case filed.
Have they organized any searches of their own that we don't know about in other places that police aren't looking?
We've done our own investigation.
Have the parents done that? Have they been out in
We
the
are
fields looking?
we are working on behalf of the parents. We have investigators, and we are pursuing leads.
Can you share any information that you've dug up from that investigation? Does it
Not at
yield
this time.
anything that the public could help you with?
Not at this time. Nothing really that you guys don't know about and that the police don't know about at this time.
And the interviews with the boys yesterday, how did they go?
I emailed the FBI agent that was there yesterday, wanted to know how they went, because I didn't get a chance to talk to him when it was over. And he said that it went fine, the boys did fine, there were no new developments, and that was his short email to us. Okay. So that's it. I want to thank you guys for coming.
Comment on the birthday?
I don't have anything else to say. I will make one comment on the birthday. Because, again, I ask that you respect their privacy. They're going to have a private situation there today for the family and only the close family members. And they're going to do it in a way that is not public. And I'd ask that you guys, especially on this day of all days, it's a tough day for them, that you respect their privacy on this one day.
I just want to clarify
Thank
one
you.
thing.
Thank you very much.
understand, though,